Hey, Celtics Nation. We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. It's one of those moments in the NBA that gets every fan talking, buzzing, and hitting refresh on every news outlet. Because when Jayson Tatum allegedly voices a desire for Derrick White's exit from the Boston Celtics, the implications are enormous, and the ripples extend far beyond the parquet floor of TD Garden. Fans have been speculating, analysts have been dissecting, and every word from Tatum is being parsed like it's gospel. The idea that a star of his caliber, a perennial all-star and the face of a championship-contending team, might publicly or privately push for a teammate's departure is the kind of story that can redefine locker room dynamics, market values, and even trade discussions. There are layers here: strategic, personal, and emotional. It's not just a matter of talent evaluation. It's about fit, style, and long-term vision. Derrick White, a guard with proven skills, defensive prowess, and a reputation for being coachable, seems at odds with Tatum's stated direction. Some insiders hint at tension on the floor, perhaps in pick-and-roll reads, defensive rotations, or in clutch moments where chemistry matters most. Rumors suggest Tatum believes the team needs a different piece, someone more complementary to his star presence, someone whose playing style would elevate the Celtics to a level they've long chased but never fully reached, perhaps hinting at a perceived ceiling with the current roster configuration, or the need for a shift in leadership dynamics that favors Tatum's vision, giving him a freer hand offensively while ensuring defensive consistency across multiple positions, a nuance that might not have been apparent to casual observers but is glaring to those inside the organization, analysts argue, noting subtle on-court hesitations and rotations that reflect a growing strategic mismatch. Sources close to the team whisper about the intensity of internal discussions, describing scenes in practice where Tatum's directives and expectations sometimes seem to clash with White's style, a style characterized by deliberate decision-making, perimeter shooting, and a defensive discipline that, while valuable, may slow the pace Tatum favors. Conversations with coaches and assistants reportedly reveal that this is less about personal animosity and more about basketball philosophy. Tatum seeking a partner in crime who can run faster, defend harder, and exploit mismatches in a way that maximizes his own scoring efficiency and playmaking influence. The rumor mill has been fueled further by cryptic social media interactions, offhand comments in post-game interviews, and the subtle but observable body language during timeouts and huddles, all feeding speculation that White's future in Boston might be more precarious than fans imagined. Every possession, every substitution, and every timeout seems to be analyzed under a microscope, with reporters noting slight nods, gestures, and tone of voice that could hint at underlying tension. Market experts are already theorizing potential trade scenarios, examining which teams could realistically accommodate White's skill set while providing the Celtics with assets that align with Tatum's aspirations. Mock trades circulate on social media, ranging from high-profile backcourt swaps to more nuanced deals involving draft picks and role players who could relieve Tatum of responsibilities that currently stretch him across both ends of the floor. While no official statement has confirmed these rumors, insiders insist the narrative is more than idle chatter, and that discussions at the executive level are active, deliberate, and guided by the star power of Tatum's influence on the locker room culture and on the organization's strategic direction for the next playoff run and beyond, with the possibility of reshaping Boston's roster fundamentally. Speculation grows louder when considering Tatum's history of seeking optimal teammates, his consistent emphasis on chemistry, and the way he has historically influenced team construction to fit his style of play. Sources suggest that this isn't merely a passing frustration. It reflects a deeper evaluation of how individual skill sets mesh within the Celtics system, particularly in high-stakes moments. Derrick White is not without merit. His ball handling, shooting accuracy, and defensive agility have contributed to the team's success. But according to whispers within the organization, Tatum sees limitations in White's ability to stretch defenses or create spacing that fully exploits his offensive arsenal. Analysts argue this assessment could be subjective, reflecting a star's preference rather than an absolute flaw. Yet it undeniably holds weight given Tatum's stature in the league and his influence on coaching strategies and roster management. Agents, sports journalists, and NBA commentators dissect every small move, suggesting that the team may consider packaging White in a trade to address salary cap flexibility, positional needs, or to acquire a shooter or playmaker who aligns more seamlessly with Tatum's vision. This rumor gains additional momentum considering Boston's competitive timeline, where maximizing immediate championship potential may outweigh longer-term developmental considerations, meaning any personnel decision involving a key guard like White would carry profound implications for both present performance and future planning. Fans are split. Some sympathize with Tatum's drive for optimal synergy, while others defend White's contributions and warn of potential fallout from disrupting locker room harmony, creating a heated debate that's dominating podcasts, YouTube channels, and Twitter threads simultaneously, showing just how potent a single rumored statement from a superstar can become the modern sports media ecosystem. Adding to the intrigue, insiders indicate that Tatum's influence may extend beyond the court into subtle strategic recommendations with management. While no official request has been made public, the whispers suggest that executives are quietly weighing the potential impact of satisfying their stars' preferences against the backdrop of team cohesion and fan reaction. Trade possibilities are examined not only in terms of player talent, but also in the context of marketability, ticket sales, and brand image, as the Celtics balance the hard reality of winning now with the optics of how player departures might be perceived. The rumor is feeding a narrative of urgency, implying that time is of the essence and that decisions could emerge before the offseason fully unfolds. Analysts speculate that if White were to be moved, Boston would likely target a versatile guard capable of defending multiple positions, creating efficient spacing and complementing Tatum's scoring without slowing the offensive rhythm. The discussion intensifies as whispers suggest subtle differences in playing style. Tatum favors rapid ball movement, dynamic off-ball cuts, and aggressive driving lanes, while White's approach emphasizes calculated setup, mid-range consistency, and defensive positioning. These stylistic contrasts, insiders claim, form the core of Tatum's expressed frustration, hinting at a desire for roster alignment that maximizes his ability to dominate while minimizing inefficiencies. Meanwhile, fans and media outlets parse every interview, every sideline interaction, and every game clip for signs, hoping to catch evidence that might confirm or refute the rumor, creating a pressure cooker environment where speculation dominates narrative, even before any concrete action is taken by management or coaching staff, further blurring the line between rumor and unfolding reality in the Boston basketball landscape. The speculation surrounding Tatum and White extends beyond individual performance into broader questions about team identity, coaching philosophy, and championship strategy. Basketball insiders suggest that Tatum's request, if true, signals a proactive approach to shaping the Celtics around his strengths, an approach not uncommon among superstar-driven franchises. Historical parallels are drawn, comparing the situation to other NBA stars who have influenced personnel decisions to construct a roster tailored to their skill set and vision. White, despite his capabilities, may be perceived as a player whose skill set does not fully exploit Tatum's versatility, athleticism, or offensive creativity. Observers note that this dynamic often places management in a delicate position, balancing loyalty, fan expectations, and the strategic imperatives that come with a championship window. Additionally, subtle hints from sources indicate that Tatum's desire for change might also be driven by long-term considerations, such as maximizing his own legacy while ensuring that the Celtics remain competitive against emerging powerhouses across the league. Every practice session, film study, and in-game adjustment becomes fodder for interpretation, with journalists and commentators analyzing minute details for evidence of dissonance or alignment. The narrative is complicated by White's reputation as a team player, known for professionalism and adaptability, which contrasts sharply with the idea of friction, suggesting that the story may be nuanced rather than purely adversarial. This nuanced tension, insiders claim, is precisely what fuels the rumor mill, providing endless material for debate, speculation, and conjecture, turning what might otherwise be routine roster discussion into a captivating saga with national attention, ensuring that every rumor, every whisper, and every hint of dissatisfaction is magnified into a story of league-wide significance. Sources hint that Boston's front office is quietly monitoring the situation, evaluating whether internal adjustments, trade discussions, or even subtle coaching strategies could reconcile perceived discrepancies between Tatum's vision and White's current role. Analysts highlight the delicate balance between star influence and organizational authority, noting that while Tatum's performance and stature grant him leverage, the Celtics management must consider broader implications, including salary cap constraints, future draft flexibility, and overall team chemistry. The rumor suggests that any potential move involving White could be structured to protect both player and team, perhaps through strategic trades that yield draft assets, complementary players, or cap relief, all while minimizing public fallout. Sports economists argue that such maneuvers, while internally complex, are increasingly common in modern NBA operations, where superstar input often shapes personnel strategy as much as scouting reports or traditional analytics. Meanwhile, fan engagement spikes, with social media conversations dissecting potential trade targets, historical precedents, and the subtle body language observed between Tatum and White during games. This speculation is fueled further by timing. As the playoffs approach or off-season planning intensifies, rumors like this gain traction because decisions are not just theoretical. They carry tangible implications for championship aspirations, media narratives, and the perception of leadership within one of the league's most storied franchises, creating a pressure-filled environment that magnifies the significance of every whisper, every hint, and every rumored request made by a superstar athlete. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers also hint at internal dynamics beyond just basketball skill, suggesting that Tatum's perceived leadership role influences both practice intensity and in-game decision-making. Analysts argue that a superstar's desire for certain roster alignments often encompasses more than purely on-court considerations. It involves fostering a particular culture, ensuring accountability, and emphasizing a style of play that reflects their strategic priorities. In this context, White's style might be seen as less compatible with Tatum's vision of a high-tempo, high-efficiency offense, even if statistically productive. Rumors suggest that Tatum values a guard who can anticipate plays, exploit mismatches, and maintain seamless spacing to maximize his scoring versatility, while White's deliberate decision-making could be viewed as slowing the team's offensive rhythm. While speculative, insiders claim this perception informs Tatum's alleged desire for White's departure, framing it as a strategic rather than personal preference. The narrative is further amplified by media coverage highlighting subtle shifts in minutes allocation, substitution patterns, and in-game roles, creating a feedback loop where speculation drives scrutiny, which in turn fuels more speculation. Fans, analysts, and commentators weigh in with opinions, counterpoints, and hypothetical scenarios, turning what might otherwise be internal strategy discussions into a publicly consumed drama. The combination of superstar influence, team identity considerations, and the timing of potential trades ensures that this rumor remains a focal point of discussion, with every public interaction between Tatum and White analyzed for evidence that could either support or contradict the circulating narrative, deepening the intrigue and heightening anticipation for concrete developments. Despite the swirling rumors, some sources emphasize that nothing is confirmed and that the situation remains fluid with multiple potential outcomes. White's professionalism and skill set make him an asset, and the Celtics front office is reportedly weighing the pros and cons of any move with caution, mindful of long-term consequences, fan reaction, and contractual obligations. Analysts note that even if Tatum prefers a change, management must consider trade feasibility, market interest, and the impact on team chemistry, making any potential departure a complex negotiation rather than an immediate reality. Meanwhile, sports media continues to amplify every hint, statement, and gesture, creating a heightened narrative environment in which rumors take on a life of their own. Social media speculation, podcast discussions, and YouTube analysis all contribute to the perception that White's position in Boston is under scrutiny, regardless of the ultimate outcome. Insider chatter suggests that potential trade options are being quietly evaluated, ranging from minor adjustments to significant roster overhauls, reflecting a proactive approach to managing both talent and superstar satisfaction. This environment highlights the interplay between star influence, management strategy, and media amplification, illustrating how a single rumored preference can dominate the sports landscape, drive narrative momentum, and shape perceptions before any official action is taken, maintaining suspense, debate, and intrigue across multiple platforms. The implications of Tatum's alleged desire for White's exit extend beyond just the current season, influencing both short-term strategies and long-term planning for the Celtics. League insiders suggest that Tatum's perspective carries significant weight because his performance directly impacts ticket sales, national broadcasts, and the team's playoff trajectory. In this context, management must weigh the benefits of accommodating a superstar's preferences against potential risks, such as upsetting team balance, affecting locker room morale, or sending mixed signals to other players. Sources hint that internal evaluations have included in-depth analytics comparing White's contributions to alternative roster options, measuring defensive metrics, offensive efficiency, and adaptability under pressure. The rumor also suggests that Tatum may be pushing for a guard whose strengths directly align with his preferred style: aggressive drives, high-tempo passing, and defensive versatility. Fans have reacted strongly, splitting into factions defending White's proven contributions and others advocating for strategic adjustments to maximize Tatum's impact. The narrative is compounded by the timing of the rumor, coinciding with critical playoff positioning, where every possession and lineup decision matters. Analysts speculate that if the Celtics do make a move, it will be framed as a proactive attempt to optimize chemistry. But the undercurrent remains that Tatum's influence is a decisive factor in evaluating White's future. Social media, blogs, and sports podcasts dissect every hint, amplifying the story and creating pressure on both player and management to act decisively yet thoughtfully, balancing the optics of star influence with practical basketball considerations. Finally, whispers indicate that Tatum's alleged preference for White's departure could signal a broader vision for the Celtics' future, emphasizing speed, versatility, and alignment with his offensive strengths. Sources note that while White has been a valuable contributor, the rumors suggest that management is assessing whether a different guard could enhance spacing, defensive coverage, and overall offensive flow in a manner that complements Tatum's style. Analysts suggest that these evaluations are multidimensional, factoring in statistical efficiency, team chemistry, and potential trade assets, reflecting the modern NBA's complexity where roster decisions are influenced by a combination of analytics, player input, and strategic foresight. Fans, in turn, are intensely engaged, scrutinizing social media interactions, subtle on-court behaviors, and cryptic comments from post-game interviews, interpreting each as potential confirmation of the rumor. The media narrative has created a high-pressure environment where every whisper, gesture, and report is amplified, reinforcing the perception that White's future with the Celtics may be contingent on aligning with Tatum's vision. As analysts, reporters, and fans continue to debate, the rumor itself has evolved into a focal point of discussion, highlighting the intersection of superstar influence, organizational strategy, and public perception, and underscoring the complex, multifaceted nature of decision-making in modern professional basketball, where a single rumor can reshape narratives, expectations, and potential outcomes across an entire franchise. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.